Okay, Algebra 2, today we're going to add, subtract, and multiply polynomials. This first slide here, you'll notice, is all addition and subtraction. Because there are signs between the sets of parentheses, we are either adding or subtracting. So what we want to pay attention here is to like terms. So we can only add and subtract like terms. And we want to write them in order, starting with the biggest exponent and working our way down. So on number 1 here, our biggest exponent throughout here is x to the third. So 4x to the third has no other like term, so we're just going to write down 4x to the third. Okay, the next exponent below that is x squareds. So now we are going to look at our x squareds. And we have 3x squared plus negative 2x squared. So 3x squared plus minus 2x squared is just 3x squared minus 2x squared, which is positive x squared. Okay, working our way down, we're now going to look for the x values. So here we have x plus 7x for a total of 8x. So plus 8x. And now we are going to look at our numbers, our constants with no x variables. And that's going to be plus 10, a positive 10. And we are finished. Those are like terms. They cannot be combined together at all. Moving on to number 2. The difference in number 2 is that we are subtracting. So now we are doing 4y squared minus 4y squared. 4y squared minus 4y squared is 0, so that is gone. Okay, there is no longer a y squared term. Moving on to the y's. So here we have 9y minus negative 5y. Don't forget this minus here. 9y minus negative 5y is plus, so this is 14y. Moving on to the constants, the numbers without the variables, we have negative 5 minus 3. Negative 5 minus positive 3 is negative 8, so minus 8, and we're finished. Number 3, we're going to go across the board here. We're doing adding and subtracting in all these different sets of parentheses. So the first thing we're going to do is scan the whole thing and look for our biggest exponents. Well, those are going to be the x to the fourth. So here's an x to the fourth, here's an x to the fourth. Okay, and the sign here is plus. So we're doing x to the fourth plus x to the fourth. That's 2 of them. 2x to the fourths. So I'm going to change colors now because I am changing terms, the types of terms, and we're going to move on to x cubes. So we've got 1x cubed here. Pay attention to the sign out front. This is minus x cubed. It's the only one, so we're going to write minus x cubed. Moving on to x squareds. Here we have an x squared, and that's it. So we have x squared plus negative x squared. X squared plus negative x squared is the same as x squared minus x squared, so that is 0, that is nothing. X squareds cancel each other out. Moving on to x's. We have minus x minus 5x. Now pay attention to the signs. What do we have here? We have minus x, and we have a plus x minus negative 5x. So minus 5x. Negative x plus x is 0. Those are gone. Minus means plus, so this is positive 5x. And then we're looking at our constants, our numbers without the variables. So we have 1 minus 1, 10. So we have a plus 1 plus negative 1 minus positive 10. Okay, make sure these signs in front here go with everything after it. So positive 1 minus 1 is 0. Those are gone. Minus 10. That is complete. Okay, now we're going to multiply. When we multiply, like terms do not matter. We can multiply anything together. So number 4, this is just your typical foiling. You're going to multiply every term in the first by every term in the second. So we're going to FOIL. We're going to do 3z times z, which is 3z squared. And then we have 3z times negative 3, which is minus 9z. Plus 1 times z is 1z. Plus 1 times negative 3 is minus 3. We find our like terms here. So we get 3z squared minus 8z minus 3. And that's all we're doing is multiplying it all out. Okay, same thing on number 5, except we've got more things to multiply there. So we're going to do everything multiplied by w first. Okay, so we're going to do w times w squared, which is w cubed. W times 6w, which is 6w squared. And w times negative 11, which is minus 11w. What I'm going to do now is change colors so that we can do the 4 and we can see the difference. So now we're doing 4 times each of those. So 4 times w squared. So this will be plus 4w squared. 4 times 6w will be plus 24w. 4 times negative 11 is minus 44. Then once we have every term written out, and we can double check here that we're doing 2 terms times 3 terms, 2 here times 3 here, okay, is going to be 6 terms total. So our final answer should be 6 terms before we combine those together. So that's a good way to check to make sure you didn't forget anything. So now we're going to combine our like terms. We've got w cubed. We've got 6w squared and 4w squared, which is 10w squared. And we have minus 11w and plus 11w, which will be plus 13w. And then we have minus 44. And that is your final answer. Number 6, parentheses squared. What does squaring mean? Squaring means multiplying by itself. So actually what we have here is x plus 3 times itself times x plus 3 times negative 2x plus 3. So in order to do this, we need to do a lot of multiplying. So what we're going to do here is multiply these first 2 things out first. So we're going to multiply these 2 together first. So we're going to multiply these together. Again, we're just FOILing. Hopefully you're good at these. We've got x squared. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Whoa. X squared. Plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. We put that together. We get x squared plus 6x plus 9. Okay, so that's, oh my goodness. That's this x plus 3 times x plus 3. Okay, now we need to take x squared plus 6x plus 9, which is x plus 3, and multiply it times the negative 2x plus 3. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this so we can see what we're doing here. We have x squared plus 6x plus 9 times negative 2x plus 3. So essentially all we did was multiply these 2 together, simplify it, and then multiply it by the third one. Okay, so now we're going to do it just like we did on number 5. We've got all these different terms here that we need to multiply first. I'm going to do everything by x squared. So multiply everything by x squared is going to be negative 2x cubed plus 3x squared. Okay, now I'm going to multiply everything by 6x. So we get negative 12x squared plus 18x. And now we're going to multiply each of those terms by 9. So we have minus 18x plus 27. Okay, so our final thing here is just to combine the like terms. So we have negative 2x cubed. Here's our x squared, so we have minus 9x squared. Here's our x's. Those cancel out, 18x minus 18x. And then we just have plus 27. And there's your final answer for that one. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and do these yourself. So 4 problems here. Make sure you pay attention to whether you are adding, subtracting, adding. Number 9 and 10, these are multiplication. There are no signs in between the parentheses. That means you're multiplying. So go ahead and pause this now, work on these 4 problems, and we'll talk about them tomorrow. Have a great day.